Nii, vahepeal meid veel siin tuleb juurde, aga ma arvan, et me võime vaikselt alustada. Tere kõigepealt, nii tore, et jälle olete oma neljapäeva õhtut koos meiega veetmas ning meie tänane vestlusõhtu on väga-väga eriline, sest et ühelt juba sellepärast, et see on praegu meie viimane vestlusõhtu sellises formaadis ning teisalt sellepärast, et meil on 2 inimese asemel 3 külalist, 3 ägedat inimest. Meil on Angela, kes on meie oma MTÜ vabatahtlik ning käis vabatahtlikuna Hispaanias. Meil on Carmen, kes käis Soomes ning meil on Conrad, kes on praegu Maidla Noortekeskuse vabatahtlik. Ning ma tuletan lihtsalt meelde, et seda vestlusõhtut me ka salvestame. Seega, kui keegi ei soovi pilti jääda, näiteks küsimusi küsides või mis iganes, saab alati chati meile kirjutada. And I think now in each as well. So glad that you have joined us for another Thursday all together, this nice Thursday evening. And today our talk show is very special because it is the last one for now with this kind of format, meeting on Zoom and talking with the volunteers. And we have 3 guests today instead of 2. We have Angela, who was in Spain, Carmen, who was in Finland, and Conrad, who is in Maidla Noortekeskus as a volunteer, Maidla Youth Center right now. And just a reminder that we are recording this talk show. So if you do not wish to be seen while asking questions or anything like that, then you can use the chat, of course. But today will be the main host of this talk show will be Melanie. So Melanie, the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our last talk show of the series of this event. I will be asking the questions from our Tonight Stars, and in the middle I will be doing little short sum-ups in Estonian. But as we today have 3 guests, I'm trying my best to not mess this up. And actually, Carmen and Angela are both very familiar with Estonian as well. So if you feel the urge to express yourself in Estonian by yourself, then you have the floor for that. Eesti keeles ka siis, et mina küsin täna neilt küsimusi ja teen vahele siis lühikesed eestikeelsed kokkuvõtted ka, et kõigil oleks arusaadav, mida me siis täna siin kõik maad-ilmad ära räägime. Ja ma arvan, et ongi paslik alustada. To start up this conversation, let's start with our very traditional question. How are you and how are you feeling at the moment? Whoever feels the urge to start, you can.
I'm fine. I'm pretty good. I'm always fine, mostly.
Same here. I'm doing fine. Can't complain, at least right now.
Okay, I think we have some more sounds going on here. So maybe Janne, as you can mute people just in case. But yeah, I'm also good. I'm like Janne said last time, it feels much more difficult to be in these shoes now, not to welcome people in and just be here as organizer, but also tell my story. So I'm very excited and I'm very glad to have the opportunity.
Nii tore kuulda, et kõigil läheb hästi ja kõik tunnevad ennast hästi. Ma loodan, et selle kevade tulekuga on kõigil selline värske ja mõnus olla ka. ja Angela mainis ka siis seda, et kui ta varem on organiseerija rollis olnud selle vestlussarja raames, siis nüüd tal on hea meel olla sellises rollis, kus ta saab ise oma lugu jagada. And before we take a deeper dive into your volunteering service particular, let's hear a little bit about your backstory. So I ask you, what, who, and maybe where were you before you came to be a volunteer?
Me? I think so. Okay, I come from Germany. So before I was in Germany, in Leipzig, on the very east of Germany. And I am a musician, play guitar and different instruments, Indian sitar, flutes and keyboards and different stuff. And I started my first group when I was 12 years old, and with 2 friends. And we are still playing together and record music, and yeah, that's what I did before, what I always did. And yeah, I'm still doing it kind of.
Should I take over? So I was a student when we first had the first volunteer Joao here, and I was actually like helping around in Maidla Youth Center a lot, and for that I want to thank Kerry because she has been the one who is like thanks to who I wanted to volunteer, and also Juba was the one who sent me first to my first youth exchange and stuff, and Denise was actually the first one who ever said to me that oh, your English is really good, and I was like, what? And from there I got the confidence, and I was like, I want to be a volunteer one day, but I wanted to first like graduate university, because I was like, if I'm gonna go to my volunteer service before that, then I will never study again. And here I am with my second studies, so that didn't go as well I planned.
And I think I have to also start with the fact that I got my first idea to even become a volunteer from Maidla Youth Center and from Kerry and Joao, Marina, Denise, all the rest of the guys. So I was waiting, being not very patient until I turned 18, and then trying to choose my project and studying, working, and then finally in 2019 I thought that it's kind of now or never, because I felt that my life was getting into a certain rhythm, and actually I already had my work life going on and my place to stay, and it was it maybe came as a surprise even to some people that now you're gonna do it. But I thought to myself that, yeah, it has been in the back of my head all the time. So it's now the time.
Lühidalt eesti keeles siis ka, et Conrad mainis, et ta tuleb Saksamaalt, kes veel ei olnud sellega kursis, ja ta on muusik. Ja enne kui ta Eestisse tuli vabatahtliku teenistust läbi viima, ta tegi sõpradega bändi ja on teinud seda juba täitsa noorest east saati, ja tema jaoks muusika on hästi olulisel kohal, ja ta mainis ka väga pikka rodu pille, mida ta siis oskab mängida. Carmen rääkis sellest, kuidas tema vabatahtliku pisik tuli juba Maidla Noortekeskusest, juba esimese vabatahtlikuga, kes oli ka meie kõige esimesel vestlusõhtul läbi Joao. Ja ta teadis sellest ajast juba, et ta tahab kindlasti vabatahtlikku teenistust ise kogeda ja sellest osa olla. Ning ta algne plaan oli siis see, et ta peab kindlasti ülikooli ära lõpetama, enne kui ta läheb seda täide viima. Ja kas ma sain õigesti aru, et sa...
Ma lõpetasin ühe ülikooli ära, siis ma käisin vabatahtliku teenistusel, töötasin natuke, läksin uuesti ülikooli.
Okei, aitäh. Ja Angela eellugu on üsna sarnane, et sai ka Maidlas selles sisendi, et tahaks kindlasti väga kunagi ära teha selle vabatahtliku teenistuse ja lõpuks ikkagi tulid igasugused õpingud ja töökohad ja elu hakkas kuidagi siin koha peal edasi veerema. Ning kui ta siis üle-eelmisel aastal juba tuli selle plaaniga esile, et ta tahaks väga Hispaaniasse minna ja ta on selle projekti leidnud, siis see võis tulla paljudele kohati üllatusena, et just praegu, kui ta on juba selle nii-öelda koha enda jaoks siin loonud. Aga sellest siis juba natuke täpsemalt, et lähmegi siit edasi, et why Estonia? Why Finland and why Spain? What led you there?
Estonia for me was a choice. It was funny, the decision actually, because I wanted to go to the north, and so the Baltics were one possibility. And then I just looked at the map from the European side and where all the projects are. And then I said, okay, let's go up there into this middle, into the corner, most northeastern corner of Europe. And just because I was like in the mood to decide like there could be a good place to be, why not? And the other decision, one another thing was that it was in the middle of a forest and that it's close to the sea. And I heard about Estonia before, like that it's a very modern place, that the people are nice, and that Tallinn is a beautiful town, and yeah, I wanted to see it.
For me, it was I don't like warm weather, so there was no choice for me to go to anywhere south. And at that time, I was looking the most northern project that I can find that I would like, and that's why I went to Finland, because I was like in Lapland. I wasn't just in Finland, like in anywhere south, but I was like really north. So I wanted to see the polar night, polar day, and the northern lights. So this was one of my dreams. I saw two of them. Didn't see the polar day, but one day I will go back and for the summer.
I had Spain pretty clear for myself for some years already, because I had my first youth exchange experiences, first international experiences in general, coming from Spain or with Spanish people in projects. And I knew that the people are great, the country sounds great, the culture sounds great. So I want to give it a try. I want to see it closer. And I thought it's gonna be a great challenge to fit myself there, because coming from the north and choosing Spain, it's two different worlds, you know, even though Europe is so small. But I thought that, okay, it's kind of the, I think, most far away place I could choose. So that's why. And I'm the opposite of Carmen. I love hot weather. So it was also in the back of my head that maybe a bit of sun would do great for me.
Eesti keeles ka siis väike kokkuvõte, et küsisin neilt, et miks nad siis läksid sinna riiki, kuhu nad läksid oma vabatahtlikku teenistust läbi viima. Conrad, kes on siis hetkel Eestis, ütles, et ta teadis, et ta tahaks väga minna kusagile Põhja-Euroopasse, kusagile, kus oleks mets ja meri. Ja kuna ta oli juba Eestist ka varem lugenud ja teadis, et see on moderne paik ja Tallinna vanalinn on kena ja samuti ta teadis, et või oli kuulnud, et siin on heatahtlikud inimesed, siis ta tahtis seda kohta ise väga ka enda silmaga näha, et kas see kõik, mis ta oli lugenud, ka päriselt tõele vastas. Ma loodan, et vastas. Ja Karmeni puhul siis ta teadis kohe, et ta ei taha minna kusagile lõunasse, sest et talle soe või selline palav ilm ei sobi ja siis jäigi ühe projektina silma Soomes toimuv projekt ning see projekt andis talle siis võimaluse ka väga hea võimaluse näha polaarööd, polaarpäeva ja virmalisi, millest ta siis kahte nägi ja üks jäi nägemata, aga ta lubas, et ta läheb neid tagasi uuesti vaatama, kui selleks võimalus tekib. Ning Angela läks hoopis lõuna suunas, käis oma projekti teostamas siis Hispaanias ja tema teadis juba pikalt, et see oleks koht, kus ta tahaks seda täide viia, sest et tema esimesed rahvusvahelised projektikogemused toimusid just Hispaanias ning see kultuuriruum oli tema jaoks juba tuttav, inimesed, kliimatemperatuur ja kogu eluolu seal koha peal ning ta arvas samuti, et see võib olla tema jaoks hea väljakutse ning ilmselt see oli üks kaugemaid paiku, kus ta Euroopas saaks minna oma projekti üldse tegema. And the next question would be, did you have any preconceptions or were there maybe any stereotypes that you were aware of about the country or its people?
From what I heard about Estonia before, or just like, I don't really care about these things, but they were saying in the internet that Estonian people are cold. Okay, whatever, like I'm cold too, so I don't care. This was the only thing that I heard about it. And another fun fact that I found was that this least religious people in the world, like that there's not many people are considering themselves like Christians or anything. Like a ridiculous high number, 84% of atheists, which I think is not really true, because there is some certain what I think of like paganism going on here, as far as I understand. Like a rock can be something very important, or the rocks at all, and the forest. But yeah, I just found it's a very interesting place to be.
Well, I have had heard that basically Finnish people are like Estonians. So for me, it was like, yay, I like people who are cold and stuff. Exactly like Conrad said that I'm also cold, so kind of don't care. But also I had heard that like everybody in Estonia were talking like, oh, Finland is like this great country. It's like rich and there is really good to live in and stuff. And I discovered that it was half true, but more on that later. But otherwise it was beautiful, and the Lapland was kind of different from south of Finland. So yeah, but basically I wanted to go somewhere where people would be kind of similar to like Estonians, because I like Estonians.
In my case, I think the previous experiences and the background with the youth projects gave me a great platform to already know that these stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason, that they are not so true. So I didn't have really any of these stereotypical ideas of Spanish people or Spain. I was more excited to see how these little things, you know, what we know about the southern countries, like maybe people rest more and are easygoing and everything is mañana, or I don't know, eating dinner very late, these kind of things. I was very curious to know how these things look in real life. And when you talk about the locals with this, you know, because I had my own story, or I had my own experiences with the Spanish people through youth projects, but to really see it on daily basis, I knew it's going to be something different. So yeah, I was definitely excited about the stereotypical things which maybe people know, but I didn't have the thoughts myself.
Küsisin siis nende käest, et kas ka Nad olid mingisugustest stereotüüpidest teadlikult enne, kui nad läksid enda vabatahtlikku teenistust läbi viima. Conrad teadis, et või oli kuulnud, et Eestis võivad olla külmad inimesed. Ma arvan, et see pole esimene kord, kui me midagi sellist endide kohta kuuleme, aga ta ütles, et teda see väga ei huvitanud või ta sellest kinni ise ei võtnud, et kuna ta ise peab ka ennast nii-öelda selleks külmaks inimeseks, siis ta tundis, et see võib olla just see keskkond, kus ta saabki olla tema ise. Ja samuti ta oli kuulnud, et eestlased on kõige vähem religioonne rahvas maailmas siis. Ja jah, see oligi see, mida tema oli varem kuulnud. Ning Carmen rääkis siis sellest, kuidas Soome kohta ta teadis nii palju, et soomlased on nagu eestlased. Ja samuti seda, et nad on rikas riik, mis siis tema jaoks oli pooltõde, lubas sellest hiljem natuke täpsemalt rääkida, et mida see endast siis kujutab. Ja samuti siis seda ka, et päriselus, kuna tema tegi enda vabatahtlikku teenistust Põhja-Soomes Lapimaal, ehk siis ta juba nägi seda, et Lapimaa näiteks väga palju erines Lõuna-Soomest. Ning Angela ütles, et stereotüübid on põhjusega stereotüübid ja teda väga huvitas, kuna ta oli väga palju kuulnud, ma arvan, me kõik oleme kuulnud lõunamaalaste kohta palju stereotüüpe, aga tema jaoks oli huvitav just see, et kuidas need päris kohalikud inimesed siis, et kas need stereotüübid nagu elu väga lihtsasti võtmine või kusagile nii-öelda hilinemine ja kõik toidukultuuriga seonduv, et kui palju need tegelikult paika peavad just täitsa kohalike puhul. And now, as we have talked about the stereotypes a bit and have got to know your backstory as well, let's take a deeper dive into your volunteering times. Do you remember the very first thoughts you had when you got to the country you went to do your volunteering service in? I mean, Estonia, Finland, or Spain, by that. The very first thought.
The very first thought. It was, there was a storm actually going on at the airport or over Estonia. So we came through the clouds and it was very much turbulence in the plane. And so we broke through these clouds, and underneath there was like, I saw the dark forest and dark place. And the first thought that I had was like, hey, yeah, finally. it was like I also experienced that the light is much more soft here because it's more northern and than in Germany. And this was maybe the first thing that I saw, like, or experienced, like these different type of lightning. And then Gary took me to a nice restaurant. And that was cool.
My first thought was that the place where I went was the smallest place ever, because they had a small airport that had like only one luggage, whatever thing. There was like, it was really short. There was one door, then there was one person, and that was the whole airport. And after that, I found out that I'm gonna live alone in like huge apartment, and my neighbors had some kind of bar, and they had like fast boats and stuff that they gave us to ride with, and I was like, I'm gonna like this place.
I also very well, for some reason, remember the landing moment. It was 16 November 2019, and I remember the feeling that, you know, November in Estonia is already pretty dark and maybe not so sunshiny, and it was suddenly very clear, like when we came to landing, the opposite of Conrad's experience of the stormy one. And I remember the clearness inside of me as well, kind of. I told to myself that, okay, it's time to get like a clear, I don't know, blank page now and open everything or welcome everything which comes with an open heart. So I put myself into this mindset. And then I arrived to the airport and I was playing hide and seek kind of with my project leader, Christina, because we couldn't find each other, and Madrid's airport was such a mess for me that day. And I was so surprised that how is it possible, you know, that I just had this moment with myself, that clear page, peace, everything, and now I'm running around. And it was very like, you know, great contrasts, feeling that, okay, yeah, I have this mindset inside me, but now the adventures begin. Finally, we found each other and started the journey to my new home, and everything went very normal. The first day was like, yeah, I felt like kind of like I have been here, or in the way that it's my place to be.
Küsisin neilt siis, et milline või mis oli nende kõige esimene kogemus või mõte, kui nad olid jõudnud sellesse riiki, kus nad oma vabatahtlikku teenistust siis läbi olid viimas. Conrad rääkis sellest, kuidas temal Eestisse saabudes tegelikult oli väljas kohutav torm ja ega see maandumine ka ilmselt väga nii-öelda rahulik ei olnud, ning ta esimene mulje Eestist oligi, et see oli hästi selline nii-öelda pime koht, ta nägi metsasid ja ehitisi. Aga samuti üks esimesi kogemusi oli tal see, et ta mainis, et valgus on Eestis pehmem või kuidagi see nii-öelda väikese valgus on Eestis pehmem kui Saksamaal, kuna me oleme põhja pool, rohkem põhja pool, et see teda ka hämmastas. Ning samuti mainis ta seda, et kerri viis ta söömaga, mis oli väga meeldiv kindlasti. Carmen rääkis sellest, kuidas temal Soome jõudes, kuidas ta sattus kõige väiksemasse kohta üldse. Tegu oli siis väga väikese lennujaamaga ning kui ta oli teada saanud, et ta saab elada üksinda väga suures korteris ja tal on peale selle veel ka väga ägedad naabrid, siis sealt sai vist, ma oletan, ainult paremaks asi minna. Ning Angela mainis seda, kuidas ka temal kõige esimene nii-öelda kogemus oli just või selline mälestus oli seoses maandumisega 16. novembril 2019 siis. Ja kuidas tal oli sisimas mõte, et kuna see on uus koht, uued inimesed, siis ta võtab seda väga puhta lehena ja ta loob siia nii-öelda enda maailma selliselt puhtalt lehelt. Ja sellele mõttele järgnes siis see, et Madridi lennujaamas oli ees kaos, kus ta siis oma projektijuhti otsis, aga vähemalt tal oli sisimas alati see mõte, et see on selline uus koht, kus oma tuleviku järgmiseid vabatahtliku teenistuse kuid luua. The next question would be, what were your usual days like in the organization or in the youth center? What were the main activities that you took part in?
For me, the children come and then we play different things, like we play pool or we go outside and play hide and seek and like catching each other, running around. It's better to play outside than inside. Sometimes we play also inside hide and seek. Some of them play on the computer, so I watch them because I'm also a gamer, and then I make my comments, and it's pretty much fun what cute games they play. And yeah, we're drawing a lot. Like drawing is fun. I like to draw like strange figures and putting little things on their head. I think the children know what it is. It's an insider, but it's pretty much fun, yeah. And yeah, playing a lot. Like on the Fridays, we make pizza.
Fridays sound great. for me, I worked in 2 places. I worked in after school club, and there were younger kids. So the morning I had free, then I went to the after school club, was there with a few hours with the younger kids and also playing with them and helping to do the studies they had to do for work, for school. And then after that, I went to the youth center. That was totally different from our youth center that I'm used to. It was just like youngsters came there and they were watching TV and playing cards, and that was kind of it. So yeah, and then in the evenings I went home and I was like, I'm so tired. But I really missed the like Maidla's youth center because the difference there was so big. I can't even describe it.
Did you have any like activities that you did in the youth center?
I organized some things, but it was basically like we didn't have younger kids there like we have in Maidla. There were mostly like 15 or 16-year-olds or older, and they weren't interested about anything because it wasn't a normal thing there to do. They just came there to watch some shows. Then they were like they were messing up the youth center. They were doing bad things there. They were like nobody was saying to them that, oh, you're banned or something, you can't come because you broke anything or something. So it was so different. I was so shocked. And basically my days there were just like watching TV with kids, and that was it, and playing cards. So yeah, it was in this way, that was like negative experience. In after school club it was easier because there were younger kids, and it was like they were more like willing to do things. So yeah.
For me, it was very important. Also, I think why I took so long time to really go do my voluntary service was the fact that I was very looking for a project which gave a lot already to my experiences, because I was working as a youth worker before I went, and this project really, it made my eyes sparkle, and I knew that it's gonna be something new. And I have my partner in crime here, actually, Pia. Hi, dear. And this was also a big part for me, that to do this project with somebody, not to be the only volunteer. And we were lucky to be together. And Anli, hey, was the support from Estonia with continuous action. As who don't know yet, then you need the sending organization from your home country and hosting organization in the country where you're going. And I was very happy to kind of have it all clear from the beginning, also with the project, that I knew what I'm going to do, and it was a great in a great format as well. So what we did with Fia was that, Fia, now you correct me if I'm wrong, if I don't remember things right, but the biggest part was that we organized English classes, conversational English classes for youth. We were near Madrid in Mahadonda Youth Center, and it was also different from Estonian youth centers for me as well, because what we are used to, maybe, that we have the younger youth coming to the youth center, but it was also focused on the older youth. So we had kids from age 12 to even 26, which was amazing, because I think in Estonia we sometimes we kind of run to this wall that we have the adult youth who are not so connected with youth work anymore. So it was a great way to see how they kind of get them there to the youth center as well. So there was a lot of things going on, a lot of different things to take part of, but we were in charge of the English classes then, of course, telling about our culture and things like this as well. And on my own, I was also connected with the international youth information. So it was something specific and something which I was very happy to focus on, to get to know more how they share international youth information. there to the youth, and it was great experience to share the info, to help the youngsters who wanted to become volunteers or go to youth exchanges, have some talks with them, have workshops, and I made the monthly newsletter, which had to be in Spanish, so it was great language practice as well on that part. Yeah, these were the biggest things. But also part of our work time was to learn Spanish and to go to the Spanish classes, which I'm very grateful for, because not all volunteers have the real classes nowadays, because the program has changed kind of bit, and it was great to have these classes going on and meet other people who moved to Mahadonda. And yeah, this was our daily life there.
Küsisin meie tänastelt õhtustaaridelt siis selle kohta, et mis olid nende põhilised tegevused vabatahtliku teenistuse ajal. Conrad mainis siis seda, et Maidla Noortekeskuse tema põhilisteks nii-öelda ülesanneteks on olnudki lastega tegelemine, noortega tegelemine, kes noortekas käivad, ja tihtipeale nad siis kas teevad mingisuguseid tegevusi, mängivad õues või noortekas sees. Samuti ta mainis joonistamist ja ka pitsa tegemise reedeid, et midagi, millel tasub silma peal hoida, et äkki saab isegi Maidla Noortekasse minna midagi maitsma. Aga tegelikult I would ask something else from you, Conrad, or just to like add to this main activities part. Right now, as we have a very special time, do you at the moment have any activities you are part of, like in Maidla Noortekeskus?
Sadly not, but it will start the 4th of May.
Okei. Küsisin siis, et kas ta hetkel praegu sellisel erilisel ajal ka millegiga tegeleb noorteka tegevuste raames, aga ta ütles, et 4. maist siis on juba neil ka rohkem ruumi ja vabamad piirangud ja midagi korraldada. Karmeni kogemuse siis nii palju, et tema ülesanne oli sellise, kuidas see eesti keeles ütleksid, pärast kooli klubi või?
Nad nimetasid seda pikapäevarühmaks põhimõtteliselt nii, et sobib ka pikapäevarühma nime all.
Okay. Ehk siis pikapäevarühmas juba noortega, lastega olemine ja nendega siis tegutsemine. Samuti kohalikus Noortekas, millest ta siis rääkis ka pikemalt, et see erines väga palju sellest, mida ta oli Eestis näinud ja ilmselt siis eelkõige Maidla Noortekeskuse eeskujul, et see erines sellest väga palju, et seal ei olnud väga erinevaid sündmusi, see väga ei korraldatud, et see oligi noortele lihtsalt koht, kuhu nad tulid kokku, vaatasid telekat, mängisid kaarte ja tema siis vahetevahel ka seal organiseeris midagi, aga enamasti oli ka selline noortega olemine üldisemalt. Ja Angela siis rääkis sellest, kuidas tema ja Fia, kes on ka täna siin, viisid läbi inglise keele tunde Mahadondas, mis on siis Madriidi selline äärelinnake. Viisid läbi neid kohalikus Noortekas. Sain ka ise ühest tunnist osa võtta. Ütlen, et väga head tööd tegid. Ja seal siis Noortekeskuses käisid ka nii vanemad kui ka nooremad noored, mis on siis võib-olla natuke erilisem, et Eestis võib-olla meil on rohkem nooremaid noori, kes käivad Noortekas, et seal võis noorte vanus jääda 12 kuni 26 vahele, mis on päris pikk või selline suur vahe, ütleme niimoodi. Samuti nad siis jagasid oma kultuuriruumi kohalikega ning Angela oli konkreetsemalt ka natukene rahvusvahelise noorteinfo jagamise poole pealt aktiivne, et sai seal aidata kaasa sellega ning näha, kuidas seda siis Hispaanias tehakse, mis on nende tehnikad ja viisid noortele infot jagada. Ning ka siis igakuise uudistelehe kirjutamine, seda siis hispaania keeles, mis oli hea praktikaga ka peale selle, et nad mõlemad käisid ka hispaania keele tundides. And as we know a bit about your main activities now, maybe you could share us a few of your hobbies as well. Did you have any? And maybe you still have some of these hobbies now?
I play instruments, music instruments. My hobby is kind of to fix them up, like getting older guitars and making them nice again, setting them up. And I play computer games quite extensively sometimes. At the moment, I am playing a new Viking survival game called Valheim. Maybe some guys of you know it.
Is it my turn? No. I have actually heard about the game, but I don't play that. For me, one thing that I started to do there was woodwork. There were some kind of classes, like they said that I can choose one hobby that I can, like they will pay for that. And so I was like, I would like to try the woodwork, and I made like a spoon for myself and puzzle something and some other stuff. And then because there weren't so many participants there, then they ended the class like in the middle of the winter, so I couldn't go there anymore. But this was something that I really enjoyed, and it was something that I haven't done more because I don't have the tools for it because there are lots of machines and lots of them are like heavy machines and don't have a place to do that. But it was fun.
I forgot to mention my other hobby is disc golf.
My brother is crazy about that. Everybody here in Estonia plays that.
I found myself pretty often in the gym or different kind of trainings, which in Estonia were not so huge part of my life, but I don't know, maybe because of the change of environment and living also crazy close to this place gave me this this feeling that I'm ready now to take part of these things daily. I continued swimming, and this was something which maybe for the future volunteers who go abroad, it was something which kind of helped me to balance, because I also did it in Estonia, and it was great to continue with that and know that this is my thing. I went to some classes of bailes latinos, to Latin dances, to realize that I'm awful at dancing, even though I thought I'm okay in Estonia, but next to Spanish people, you think that, okay, I don't even have hips. But yeah, and huge part actually now when I think that it turned kind of a hobby to explore the area, because I think, you know, when you live for certain time in the place and you know that you have like limited time and you want to know all you can and you need to know, and yeah, exploring and going to concerts and things like this also, it turns into kind of a hobby.
Rääkisime siis natukene hobidest. Conrad mainis, et juba ennem ütles ka, et muusika on väga tähtsal kohal tema elus ja isegi pillide, erinevate kitarride ja muude pillide parandamine ja siis nii-öelda restaureerimine. Ja samuti ta mängib palju arvutimänge, mainis ühte viikingimängu. Mina pole isiklikult kuulanud, aga kindlasti ma usun, et arvutimängud on mingisugune maastik, mida tasub endale tuttavaks teha. Ning ka discgolf on tema teema. Have you already, Conrad, went to the what is it called, disc golf area in our mountain?
Yes, I was there. I played with a friend one time there. It's pretty good. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty challenging one in my opinion, but I'm glad you have done it. And ja Carmen rääkis siis sellest, kuidas puidutöö oli tema teema Soomes olles, vabatahtlikku teenistust läbi viies ja kuidas ta väga nautis seda, sai seda kohalikega teha. Kuid kahjuks praegu on ta siis pigem unarusse jäänud, kuna see kindlasti selleks on tarvis väga palju erinevaid vahendeid, tööriistu, masinaid, mida lihtsalt ei ole päris igalt poolt saada. Ning Angela mainis, et tema tegi trenni, samuti tegeles ujumisega ning ka ladida tantsutundides käis, mis ta siis avastas, et võib-olla ei ole päris tema teema, aga ma usun, et ma arvan, et sa alahindad ennast liialt selles. Ning samuti ka selle paiga avastamine seal koha peal oli ka suur asi, millest siis kujunes selline ka hobi välja. But did you have any first time experiences during your volunteering service?
No, I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe I have to think longer. Maybe fishing. Yeah, I was fishing the first time here in Estonia. I met an old guy at the river here in Savala, and I never fished before. And I saw him, so I decided, okay, let's check. Okay, I am kind of allowed to fish, so I ordered equipment and I showed it to him, and he said it's all crap. Then he went home and bought me better equipment and just gave it to me, and then we fished together. This was my, I think, one first time experience, and it was pretty cool one.
For me, only things that I can think of is that I saw reindeers in the wild, and my first thought seeing them was like, they are so small. Because in Estonian it's like it's not a reindeer, it's like a moose. So I was like expecting something really big, and then it was so small, and I was like, yeah, that's disappointing, but they were cute. But still disappointing.
One of the first things I did, which is kind of funny to think, that you go to Spain and you don't visit a football game, but a basketball game. But my dear Fia was, we were on the page of just coming to ideas, and yeah, it's happening. Let's make it. Let's go there. Let's visit it. It's just an experience, and let's see. But also, she's a fan of basketball and knows how to play it, and it also. I went along, and it was the game of Moscow and Real Madrid. And later I realized that, okay, it's actually a big game. But it was great. It was my first experience of this huge sport event like this. I also went hiking in the mountains for the first time, and also kind of by accident. Didn't even realize when I signed up that it's gonna be like really mountains. I didn't have any hiking clothes or shoes, so it was experience, but it was great. And I met there now one of my greatest friends, who is Estonian, and she was living in Madrid that time. And yeah, so Estonians everywhere, even in the random mountains near Madrid. And I gave a live TV interview, which I'm very grateful to the National Youth Agency here in Estonia. It was when the situation as we know it started last March, and I had the chance to say a word in Television, our morning TV program here in Estonia, from my point of view, how is it going with the youth work and volunteers life during times like this. I think these were the biggest first experiences.
Rääksime siis natukene nende kõige esimestest kogemustest. Conrad mainis siis seda, et ta Eestis olles käis esimest korda kalal, kalastas siis Savala jõe ääres ja sai ka endale nii-öelda kaaslase, kes temaga koos kalastamas käis. Carmen mainis, et tema nägi esimest korda meie mõistes siis põhjapõtrasid päris looduses ning tema üllatuseks olid nad palju väiksemad, kui ta oletas, et nad võiksid päriselt välja näha. ning Angela jaoks oli päris mitu esimest kogemust, näiteks jalgpallimäng, mis tuli välja, et oli väga
korvpalli.
Korvpall.
Ja mis tegigi selle naljakaks, et lähed Hispaaniasse, aga ei lähegi jalkat vaatama, vaid korvpalli.
Okay. Korvpallimäng ja samuti siis mägedes matkamine. Ja mägedes matkades siis ta kohtus ka teise eestlasega, kellega nad on siiani ühenduses. Ning ka esimeseks kogemuseks oli otse-eetris intervjuu andmine siis Eesti televisioonile, mis siis toimus selle viiruse suurema leviku ajal, kus siis taheti teada tema vaatepunkti, kuidas Hispaanias noorsootöö sellisel erilisel ajal toimib. I think every experience can have its learning points or, more negative sides. And I think it's okay to talk about it. And now I'm asking you, as you're looking back to your volunteering service, was there anything about Estonia, Finland, or Spain that was a bit difficult for you or wasn't so nice?
Hard question. I don't really know. I didn't experience the bad things so much. Like, no, this was in the end. Most things were pretty funny. Sometimes things turn out to look bad or something. Like, for example, I went to a forest nearby my house, and then one day people came to me like a little bit aggressive and told me like that this is a private forest and that I'm not allowed to go there. I was just going there to read, actually, because it was like nice surrounding. And then I told them what I do, that I actually work in Maidla in the youth center, and they said, "Oh, it's okay, you can stay, whatever." Okay, it was maybe kind of a bad experience, but it turns out mostly fine. So I can't really tell, like, didn't experience something bad here, or not even negative. Maybe, no, not even that. No, it was fun.
For me, I had lots of for me, the negative period was kind of really long. Because it was so big shock for me that the youth center was so different. We had some kids there who were like bullying others and with really bad behavior, and they had trouble at school, and nobody did anything. And it was so hard for me to see that they were like they were doing all those things and they were breaking things in youth center, and there were no consequences. And like everybody were like, "Oh yeah, it's fine." Like, and this is the part that I was thinking about before when I said that, oh, everybody's saying that it's so good to live in Finland, and I was like, no, you like everything is allowed, and it was like for everybody, and like nobody wanted to do anything about it. So I was supposed to be in Finland for 10 months, but finally I came back after 8 because I got really depressed there. I started to feel really lonely, and even though I like to work in the after school club, I hated the youth center in the end. It wasn't at all this kind of like warm and good environment like we are used to here in Maidla's youth center. And I got really lonely. I started to like miss home. And even though Finnish people are kind of similar to Estonians, I discovered there that I love Estonia so much that I like, and I love my family and my friends, that I can't live away from home for a really long time. I still do like different projects like in different countries and go like travel, but not more than 2 weeks. And even though it was like so bad experience in like these things, I'm still really happy that I did it, because discovered so many things about myself, and it was like the biggest learning experience that I have ever had. So yeah, but in general it went really bad, but still really happy about it.
For me, it was difficult to make peace with the situation because my project turned out like it turned from last March. And I was not on a very good page with Spain in general in March because we didn't have any, of course, like everywhere, it was very like breaking and shaking the situation. But you know, when you're in this kind of project, and like I mentioned, with the fact that you have limited time anyways, you want to know when you can go out of home and these things. And maybe because it was very strict back there, and I totally understand, it's a crazy different environment in every way. Like it's a huge city, and all these rules were there for a reason, absolutely. But it was a lot of work with myself and with the situation, and I also realized like how important is the network around you, because because I was in the project with Pia, and I had Anli to talk with, and my family and my organization in Spain, like they were huge support for us during this time, because we continued our work. We did everything online. We were very well managed. I think we realized how coming from North and being aware of the possibilities of working online, it really helped us. But in general, yeah, this situation of really not knowing anything when you're abroad and you don't know the language yet this well, and you don't know the background of the country or why they decide things like they do. I had roommates, and they were Spanish people, and they didn't also like understand the situation at all, and it didn't make it any easier, you know, when you realize that okay, it's not me, it's general. But yeah, these few weeks there were like huge learning moment in this part.
Can I add something that I remember? I think one of the reasons why for me it was also so depressing was because of the polar night, because we don't have any light in Estonia anyway, like in the winter, but there in Lapland it was like we only had like few hours of some kind of daylight, so it was also making it worse.
Küsisin nende käest siis, et kas või milliseid nii-öelda negatiivseid külgi nende projekti puhul võis olla ja võib-olla millest nad siis ka ise õppisid. Conrad ei osanud midagi väga konkreetselt välja tuua, mida on hea kuulda, et ei ole väga palju negatiivset, mida välja tuua. Ta rääkis küll ühest seigast, kuidas ta läks metsa raamatut lugema. Tuli välja, et see oli eramets ja esialgu need inimesed, kes seda metsasid omasid, olid olnud pigem temaga sellised pealetükkivad ja ütlesid rangelt, et ta ei tohi seal käia. Aga kui ta juba rääkis endast, rääkis, mida ta teeb ja kust ta tuleb, siis inimestel oli juba selgem pilt ja ta lubati ka sinna metsa edasi käima. Karmeni lugu on siis hoopis teistsugusem, et tema projekt jäi ka nii-öelda pooleni või ta tuli varem ära. Ja üheks põhjuseks oli siis see, et just see, kuidas nende noortekeskus, kohalik noortekeskus, seal oli, kuidas selline ülesehitus neil oli, et seal olid tema silmis halva käitumisega siis noored ja nende käitumisel nii-öelda tagajärgi ei olnud, keegi nendega ei tegelenud ning kõik need pinged kogunesid ja see ei olnud lihtsalt tema jaoks selline õdus ja mugav kogemus ning lõpuks tuli selline üksik tunne peale ja ta tundis, et ta tahab koju tagasi naasta. Ning tänu sellele kogemusele ta mõistis ka, et kodu on tema jaoks väga oluline, et ta siiamaani tegeleb teeb erinevaid projekte, võtab osa, aga jah, juba väiksemate nii-öelda ajaraamide sees. Ning ta ütles ka, et see oli küll nii-öelda päris negatiivne kogemus, aga samas ta õppis sellest väga palju, et see on kindlasti üks tema elu kõige suurimaid õppimiskohti. Ning ta lisas ka veel seda, et ilmselt tegi selle olukorra veel natuke hullemaks ka see, et neil oli ainult paar tundi päevavalgust just selle polaarperioodi ajal, et see oli midagi, millega ta ei olnud harjunud. Ning Angela kogemus on veel teistsugusem ka, et tema lõpukuud projektist olid juba sellistes tingimustes, märtsikuu oli juba sellistes tingimustes, et Hispaania riik oldi lukku panemas ning erinevaid nii-öelda piiranguid kehtestati ja hästi keeruline oli aru saada, mis toimub ja mis edasi saab ning kord oli päris range. Aga ta mõistis ka siis, kui oluline on see, millised inimesed su ümber on, kui oluline on see võrgustik su ümber, kõik, kes sind toetavad, sinu saatev organisatsioon ja inimesed seal kohapeal ja inimesed kodus. Et ta töö küll jätkus internetis, neti teel siis nii-öelda kõik inglise keele tunnid ja nii edasi, aga jah, see toetus oli ka väga oluline selle juures. Ning now, as we have talked about the more negative sides, it's time to get back to the positive. And I'm asking you, what was something great? And is there anything you really miss from your volunteering service? And for Conrad, for you, then what is something great about this place, Estonia, or about your volunteering service here?
There are so many things that are great. Starting with the food. You have all these different sorts of black bread that I really enjoy. Like it's more sweet. In Germany, the black bread is a little bit more sour. Actually, it was in the beginning like, wow, it's pretty sweet bread what they have here, and your mustard is very hot. So all the milk products are of exceptional great quality, like every kind of yogurt or whatever. It's hapukor, kuhuk, all these products are really awesome. Your chocolate is even also very good. I don't understand why there is these Milka products. Nobody should buy them here because they have much better chocolate than like this German chocolate. And the forest is awesome. Like I these days I used to go longer hikes in the forest around here. And actually, when I came here, like now it's 7 months ago, I was one of the first days when I decided in the evening, like, let's go just next to the forest, just to walk next to it. And believe it or not, but I actually saw a wolf running over the field and watching me shortly. My heart was beating like hell, and then it ran away in the bushes. But I first thought it's a quite big fox, but it's it's not a fox. It's such a big fox. Positive, another like the people here in the music school, for example, are really awesome musicians and awesome people that I love to work with. We recorded 2 songs there together. I played also in the mandolin orchestra. And I want to play again, but these days we can't play, we can't practice. I was mixing one of their shows. It was also nice. It was very cold, but very cool outside concert. And Tallinn is so cute. Like it's about the size of Leipzig, and about the same amount of people live there. But you have a much more beautiful old town. Like we have also some old town. It's a little bit different style, but I felt very, very home strangely there. Like, and I went to the restaurant Olde Hanse, and they asked me where I come from, and I told them that I'm born in Magdeburg, and Magdeburg was a very important Hanse town. And so they gave me a member coin. I immediately was a member of the Hanse, and then I got some some drink and some bread and cheese and some free stuff just because of where I come from. Pretty cool. And yeah, it's, you have winters here, finally. I didn't experience such a long and cold winter for like, I don't know, like 8 years or something. There was the last winter that cold in Germany was about 2012. And I really missed it because we always had like 0 degrees and then rain and then some little snow and not really like much snow. So that was like awesome. No. There could be more, I think. If I think longer, I will find more things.
My favorite things, one of them was my mentor's family. They were so amazing. They took me everywhere. We went to the concerts, we went hiking, and they were really so nice. And the other thing that is kind of bittersweet is the Northern Lights. I saw Northern Lights. I saw like really nice ones, but I only saw them twice in that winter. And the locals said that they have never had so like this kind of winter when there aren't so many Northern Lights. And the next year, the next volunteer, we talked and she was like, yeah, we have Northern Lights every night. I was like, why? Like, why didn't I have them? So, but the ones that I saw, they were amazing. So these were my 2 favorite things that I cherish.
For me, it's definitely the people and our dear Chris right from Mahadonda came at the perfect moment for the question of what we really liked about our projects. Yeah, the people, I think, and I also miss the people the most because I had to live in a way that I didn't see everybody face to face or to say bye-bye. So I have this urge inside of me to really go back when it's the first possibility appears. Also, of course, the surroundings, the nature, and the culture and being in general. It's very different from Estonia, and it's very fresh. And I think it's a great experience for a young person to get to know yourself also in a different environment. And this is something I also kind of miss, you know, the feeling that I challenge myself and I try to fit in and learn new things daily basis. And Spanish, I really like the language, and I miss the fact that I don't have so many opportunities here in Estonia to really talk it. Of course I could, but you know, in the way that I really now need to, because the other person speaks the language and I have to make myself clear. So I think these are the biggest aspects, and the youth actually as well. When we talk about the people, they are a big part of, they were and are a big part of the volunteers project every year there. So yeah.
Lühidalt siis eesti keeles ka nende mingisugustest kogemustest või asjadest, mida nad väga igatsevad või vaatavad nii-öelda hea pilguga tagasi nendele. Conrad mainis seda, et talle väga meeldib Eesti toit, eriti meie must leib ja sinep ja piimatooted ning ka šokolaadi ta väga kiitis. Samuti see, et meil on väga palju metsa ning ta rääkis ka lugu, kuidas ta on näinud ka Eesti metsas juba hunti. Et see on kindlasti omamoodi kogemus. Samuti ta mainis siis seda, kuidas ta on muusikakoolis käinud ja osalenud näiteks mandoliiniorkestri juures ning nende inimestega seal läbinud ja ta leiab, et nad on väga toredad kõik ja oskavad ja on väga andekad inimesed. Ning samuti ta tõi välja Tallinna vanalinna, mis oli tema jaoks justkui kodu, et ta võrdles seda ka enda kodulinnaga ning tõi välja ka selle, et meil oli niivõrd pikk talv, mis oli tema jaoks ka midagi uut, et ta pole Saksamaal ka mitu aastat juba näinud niivõrd pikka ja ilusat talve. Carmen tõi välja siis selle, et ta väga igatseb ja enda mentori perekonda, kes nad siis kohapeal olid, kes teda igale poole viisid ja teda kaasasid, ehk siis neid inimesi seal. Ja siis veel ka virmalisi, mida ta siis nägi kahjuks ainult 2 korda. Et see talle väga meeldis ja ta kindlasti tahaks neid veel näha. Ning Angela puhul siis ta samuti igatseb neid inimesi, kes seal olid, nende seas ka siis noori, kohalikke noori, ning ootab väga, et tagasi minna, et neile siis head aega öelda, mis tal tookord kahjuks näost nagu ei õnnestunud kõigi puhul. Samuti siis igatseb ta ümbritsevat keskkonda, mis oli väga värskendav ja hoopis teistsugusem sellest, millega me oleme siin Eestis harjunud, ning ka hispaania keelt igatseb ta. But now, as we have a better understanding of your volunteering times and we've got to know you a bit better, it's time for you to show your memories and your experiences in the pictures, which you have, I hope you have prepared for tonight, and you should have the access to share them with us. Share your screen.
I can't share my screen because I'm on phone.
Conrad and Carmen have actually given me the permission to share their photos as well. I have the power, so I'm gonna use it now. I hope it will work. Okay. Jana, you as a host, you need to give me the opportunity now. Okay. Okay. Just a second. So, Conrad, I will make your photos appear now. Okay. Can you see the screen?
Still starting. Ah, yeah. Yeah, these are from leftover pizza dough. I created these things. So sometimes when youth are in the youth center and it's getting late and they're not going home because they're waiting for their parents or something, I get hungry, and then I start to just cook things for them, or like sometimes we test the pizza dough for Friday a little bit earlier, just to test it. And that it's I think these pizza rolls were pretty cool. Like, this was a pretty cool thing. You ended sharing your screen.
I take all my words back what I said about the online managing before. Okay, let's try again. Is it working?
Yeah, this was a really, really nice day with the kids. Gary took us to a like farm, and we made this horse ride in the snow, and I felt like some kind of connection, like as if my former lives back in the universe somewhere did this before. Like, it was not the first time experience, but it was very like deep inside, and it was pretty cool. Like, one of the best days I ever had, I think. Like with and the kids we were playing in the snow, and it was so beautiful. It was a very cool day. Yeah, more snow. I was skiing a lot, actually. I was skiing even to the youth center and back, and sometimes also to Kiviõli and back. I think my longest ride at all was 20 kilometers. Going cross-country skiing. And in the middle of the winter, then I thought, man, shit, like, now you're getting quite fit again. What will you do when the snow is gone? Like, what will be my substitute? Damn, I have no idea. I still don't have. I'm playing disc golf and I go out and walk around, but it's not the same. Like, it's not the same. And I miss skiing a lot. I actually got the skis for recording and mastering a check here in Kiviõli. Was like a gift. This is me in the first one of the first days when I went to Tallinn to pick up this guitar that I found. It's a Finnish early 90s electric guitar that I got for 80 euros online, and it sounds very much like a like the early 90s rock music, like Radiohead, Muse kind of style. It has this specific type of sound, and I really love it. It's one of the best guitars. I have many guitars. I have like 14 or 15 guitars at home, or I don't know, like, and this is yeah, it came to me. Yeah, Kuhuka is awesome. Like, I showed my friend, like, did you ever saw these things? Like, this is like yogurt, but it's not yogurt, it's something different. And just my mom knew what it was. They kind of had something like that before in the in East Germany. But yeah, I got partly addicted to Kuhuka, and I'm now over it. I'm off for 1 week. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, I got. I don't have much pictures of me that I'm getting drawn, but one of the kids were drawing me, and I found this to be pretty cute. Like, and we're drawing a lot. It's fun. Yeah, I even made a wall of fame. I don't know if Gary saw it now, but we made a strange wall of fame of like caricature pictures of one another. This is a picture that I found in near the coast in a very old, almost rotten house, abandoned house, while I was walking around there. And the house was pretty magical. Like, there were like statues of deers outside, and it was all gone basically. But I felt that someone with had a very good life there, and I got like an idea of how it might be if you're living before all the technology, like no computers, no phones and stuff, and you're just living in the north of Estonia near the coast. And then I found this picture on the floor, like dirty. I thought about taking it with me, but it belonged to the house. I didn't take anything with me, so I just made a picture of it. And I could imagine they had a pretty good time. Yeah, this is Gary's making these. We're making these stuff from clay. Is it clay? I don't know. We burn it, and this is the Nutella mouth guy. I don't know. He's actually here, right here, and he's pretty. It's pretty much fun to make these things with the kids, and what joy they have if I like just take anything and put a little strange head on it. This is pizza dough. I'm a good cook or chef, but I never made pizza dough before I came here, and so I researched it and tested it a couple of times and tried to find out the best way to do it. And research the Italian style of making pizza dough. And yeah, I think the kids pretty much enjoy it, and I like it too. Yeah, this is this was the first snow that came down, and one of the kids, I think it was Kirke, she put this piece of mud on his head, and it reminded me of the Nutella mouth guy. It's the same principle. It's in many pictures we have this theme going on. Yeah, minus 28 degrees in the morning. That was it was actually starting to hurt in the face when you went outside. So it was the first time that in Germany we had minus 20 sometimes, but not minus 28. So somewhere there's a border where it's starting to hurt slowly. Yeah, awesome lightning morning in the winter. Like the picture basically speaks for itself. Like so beautiful morning sunsets in the winter here. And when you are middle of the fields, like there's pitch silence. There's nothing going on, no sounds, and you're on your skis, and just everything around you is white. Even then later the sky is also white. You just have white ground, white sky, and this like little line of black forest in the middle. Like then it's really, really cool. I like it. Yeah, and then sunny winter also. I was thinking it was also one of these days where it was really cold, and I saw this pullover in Savala. I heard a story that if you put it like that and you actually touch it, it might crack, like that it breaks. So I didn't touch it, but it was pretty cool. That's it, I think. Yeah.
You were very lucky with the winter this year. That's crazy to come on such a wintry year to Estonia.
Yeah.
So great. Okay, shall we take Carmen's photos?
Yeah.
I also think that we should do some kind of collab of the pictures from the Savala's apartment, because we have seen so many during the talk shows. Everybody has shown their pictures from the apartment, the sky and the road, and it's the same view but different weather. This would be nice to get some kind of collab out of it.
It's a really good idea. Write it down. Okay, I'm gonna share the screen now. Hope it works. Carmen, the floor is yours.
Can't see the picture yet. It's thinking. Oh, so this is in Rovaniemi. I'm sure everybody in Europe has heard about how 1 year Lordi was the winner of Eurovision for Finland, and these are their handprints. So yeah, I had a picture with them. On the left, you can see my mom. On the right, my mom's friend, and they were visiting me in Finland. And the funny thing about this was I was so used to talking in English when I was there that every time when I started to talk with my mom, I also started to talk in English. And I was like, come on, brain, we are now on Estonian. So this is a picture of meter meeting that we had there. These are the volunteers that were in Finland at that time. And I think this one was taken in September. And I still to this day tell a story about the Spanish people who were there. They had been in Finland for, I think, a month or something. And they were saying like, I don't understand, like the Finnish people, they are all the time so like not angry, but like they don't have any emotions and everything. And I was like, I'm Estonian, I know the thing, like be here for a few months without the sun. You will realize what it's like. And in January or February, we had the next meeting, and all the Spanish people were like, oh my God, we need sun. It's so depressing. So they learned why everybody in North are so like cold and no emotions. And this is the line of the Arctic Circle. So with 1 feet, we are here on the North Pole, and with other not. And this is my mentor and one of her daughters. So this is like precious to me. And that's it.
Such a great moment. And I'm gonna open my folder now. And I also realized that I'm never gonna say to people to choose just 5 photos, because this is a mission impossible when you have, you know, and I wasn't there even for a year, so I can't imagine what the people who are having their projects for going on for a year, what amount of photos they could have. Just
I only had 4 thanks to the electronics not working with me, so I was lucky.
Lucky.
It was easier to choose.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen now. I hope it's working. At least it tells in my computer that it's working.
It's working.
Perfect, thank you. So some of my great moments back in Mahadanda. This is a photo made in our English classes. Here you can see my mentor and project leader and local biggest support person, Christina, who is also here with us today. And these are the great youth who came together every week to practice English with us and to get to know more about Estonia and Finland. And yeah, it was very great platform to try to teach them different topics and different things which we were interested with Fia. We could also tell them, we talked from mental health to different kind of holidays, cultures in world, about world in general, and always with a playful way, informal activities. So it was great. I think it was as great for them, it was for us as well. Always very excited about the lessons. Here is a photo of the basketball game I was telling you about, and it may be like just an event, but for me it was kind of like the great opening of the experience in general of living in Spain, because of the energy of the event and all the, you know, just going to explore and discover and trying out something new. These are just like Carmen had a photo of other volunteers. I have it also here because when I talk about people I miss or people who are important for us, then it's definitely also the other volunteers who were in Spain at the same time as me. And this is our arrival meeting. And maybe for the ones who don't know the concept of this program so well, what I like about this European Solidarity Corps volunteering possibilities is that you have the huge group of volunteers also around you. Doesn't matter which country you go, you come together and you have similar experiences. You can always share things. They become your friends instantly, because it doesn't matter if, you know, I'm the only Estonian here, but I felt like we all come from the same place because we all come from abroad. And this is new environment for us and things like this. And yeah, it was our training in the beginning of the project. This is me and Fia, and trying out Spanish sweets, biscuit with a very sweet chocolate in the cup. And yeah, about all these little things which we tried out or get to know. This is how excited we were, because every day was so many new things, and you have to try and be very, very open to this. And this is one day when we went to local high school to tell youth about the possibilities of Erasmus Plus program and international programs in general. This is also in one of the classes, and this was about human rights, as you can see. And once again, it was, I think it was kind of like through the classes, we also got to know ourselves about the topics we were telling or we were discussing with the youth. So it was very great way to also get wiser and get new knowledge yourself. This is the chicas finlandesas, my Finnish girls, who became also very, very important people to me, because we were we had our similar background, Estonia and Finland, not so different, and not so difficult to understand each other. So it was very great to have them. Here is Fia, Sanni, and Desi, who were doing their au pair project during that time in Madrid, and our Spanish teacher, who is also Finnish. And these were our extra Spanish classes, and it was a huge experience, because I tried to learn Spanish on the platform from both English and also Finnish, because I had learned some Finnish in high school. It was a great way to challenge my brain to also try to understand things from Finnish and then to Spanish. So it was a huge brain exercise, each lesson, but it was so worth it. And as you can see, this is made in February, so outside classes already happening. One great experience for me was also to get to know the local community of Estonians, because the girl who I met in the mountains did her internship in the embassy of Estonia in Madrid. And this is our group of Estonians and their Estonian/Spanish families during the 24th of February, the Estonian Independence Day. And before that, I actually had no idea how much the local, for example, local Estonians in the country could mean to me, in the way that, we come from the same place and we have our similar stories and things to share. But when I met these people, I instantly have like connections around Madrid, and some of them came also from far, from the south, for example, from Málaga and so on. So it was very great to kind of know that I belong in this group, as you can see from the vibe. And also I get to know the embassy part more when I tried to get back home during the COVID situation. Then they were also huge support, and then I think I realized really like how much they need to know and how much they need to be there for their people. So it was I was very happy with them, and always recommend to contact them if you have any questions. This is one happy puppy in the mountains, as you can see, not very well dressed for the hiking, but still made it. And yeah, it was great. It was in every way an overcoming. And this is it.
Thank you all so much for the pictures. I think it would be a bit difficult for me to translate all the stories behind them, but I truly believe that pictures talk for themselves. So eesti keeles ka siis, et nägite ka nende kogemust ja nende lugu läbi piltide, et mul on natuke keeruline neid kõiki hakata siin edasi tõlkima, aga ma usun, et pildid räägivad siis iseenda eest ja need näitavad seda eluolu väga hästi ja kannavad seda edasi endas. Ja olemegi juba lõpusirgel. And to slowly sum up this nice conversation, this nice evening tonight, let's get back to today. And my question would be, what do you do these days and where has life taken you? And for you, Conrad, you're still completing your project, but maybe you can share some of your plans for the future with us. And maybe you have some ideas, where are you going and what you're doing after Maidla, maybe.
That's a tough question because I don't really know what I will do. I have different options, and I think I don't want to share so much details, but I told just to my sister today that I'm in a good position anyhow. And normally I always looked that I could improve my situation to get like a better standard or whatever. But I'm actually in a good position, so it would be no problem if it would be worse. So I'm looking forward for the future, whatever comes to me.
So like I said previously, I went to the university again. So now I'm doing my master's thesis and like getting my master's in teaching and also working in Maidla school. I still try to participate in different volunteering projects. I have been in Ireland and Scotland, like working there as a volunteer for 2 weeks in both places. I still volunteer in Estonia in different smaller events and stuff, like locals know Purfest. This is the place where I have volunteered since since it started, I think like 7-10 years ago, something like that. It has been really long. And there are some events that I'm like participating every year, and some new ones that volunteering for me is the way, like one way to stay sane because it's a really good way to do different things and get out from your like regular job and like life and to experience something different for a short period of time. So yeah.
I got this, how can I say, I got very, I started definitely to believe in myself more after Spain. And I got more of this, this feeling that I could do everything or try out different things. And now I'm challenging myself in Rakvere Teater as a troupe leader, being in charge of the monthly plans and rehearsal plans and these kind of things. But at the same time, the youth work is very, very deep in my heart. And I'm staying connected with that actually through this our NGO and through organizing different things. And especially right now when you have to do more online things, I think it's also challenging on a one way, but we need to kind of consider this now as this new normality and step up with that. So yeah, this is my everyday life.
Küsisin neil siis, et mis neist on peale nende vabatahtlikku teenistust saanud ja kuhu elu on neid viinud. Ja kuna Conrad on siiamaani tegemas enda seda oma projekti keskel, siis küsisin temalt siis, et kas tal on mingisuguseid plaane, mida ta tahaks ette võtta peale projekti. Ta mainis, et tal on erinevaid võimalusi, tal on erinevad uksed valla, et ta väga detailidesse ei tahaks minna, aga ta on väga põnevil selles osas, et mida tulevik talle pakub ja tal on kindlasti erinevaid võimalusi selle sisustamiseks. Carmen töötab hetkel Maidla koolis ja samuti on omandamas siis magistrikraadi õpetajana. õpetaja erialal siis, ning ta mainis ka, et ta on teinud paarinädalasi projekte, vabatahtlikke projekte, selliseid nii-öelda väikeseid projektiotsake Siirimaal ja Šotimaal, ning samuti ta võtab vabatahtlikuna osa ka teistest Eestis ja kohalikul tasandil toimuvatest sündmustest, näiteks Purfestil, mis on meile kõigile siin väga lähedal ka toimub enamusele siit, aga kes on kaugemalt, siis kindlasti tasub tulla kuulama ja vaatama. Ning Angela mainis, et temal kindlasti tänu sellele kogemusele Hispaanias suurenes usk iseendasse ja ta on pannud ennast erinevates valdkondades ka proovile ja hetkel ta on siis Rakvere teatris trupijuht. Ja tema siis töö kätkeb endast väga palju erinevaid külgi, aga mina ausalt öeldes ei ole ka veel täpselt 100% aru saanud, et mis see kõik on, mida ta teeb. Aga noorsootööga on ta ka samamoodi hästi seotud, just eriti tänu meie MTÜ Maidla Noored tegevusele ja läbi selle konkreetse vestlusõhtu ja seob ennast noorsootööga ikka endiselt ka. And for my next question, actually Carmen already answered to this one, but you can repeat yourself if you wish. Is volunteering still part of your life, and are you still volunteering somewhere, somehow?
Me? I'm not volunteering. I'm volunteering at the moment.
Yes, for Conrad, you are still in the middle of your project. But I mean, have you been associated with volunteering before, or is there any other fields that you have volunteered in?
I mean, in the system of the European Union, volunteering.
Like overall, maybe in your hometown back in Germany, or just like in a local standard?
Not really, no. If you call it volunteering, I'm doing sometimes things for free in the music business stuff. So if there's an artist that is just starting to write songs, or even more advanced ones that have a lot of songs and they just need help in any field, I sometimes voluntarily do it for free. So maybe that, but not in any other NGO or something.
I will let Angela to speak because I already answered. Don't want to repeat myself.
Also, like I said, volunteering in our NGO is a big part, and I'm very glad to have this possibility, and also for all the rest of the youth, because I see daily how it gives the opportunity to really make your ideas come true. And I think this is why I also have been volunteering in the NGO and volunteering in general, because you learn how you can really make a difference yourself and make your ideas come true and challenge yourself. And I also volunteer from time to time in Vestlusõhtust, which is a store in Estonia who sells recycled things. So it's also very close to my heart not to make tons of waste, but to see how we can reuse things. And yeah, I introduced the organization to people on events and things like this.
Uurisin siis, et kas vabatahtlikuks olemine on ka kuidagi teistmoodi seotud olnud nende eluga, et peale selle, et nad selle vabatahtliku teenistuse on läbinud või on läbimas. Conrad siis mainis, et ta ei tea küll, kas seda saab päris vabatahtlikuks tööks nimetada, aga ma usun, et mingil tasandil ikkagi saab, et ta tihtipeale aitab näiteks algavaid muusikuid aitab neil alustada ja kõik muusikaga seonduv on talle hästi oluline, et kui keegi vajab selles abi, siis ta on alati valmis neid aitama ka. Karmeni puhul siis juba ennem ta mainis ka enda vabatahtliku osa pealt siis erinevate kohalike sündmuste näol ja isegi välismaal erinevate väikeste projektide näol ning Angela puhul siis ta on vabatahtlik MTÜ-s Maidla Noored. Ta leiab, et sellist nii-öelda rahvusvahelise noorte infomaastikul, et siin on hea ideid teostada ja see MTÜ aitab ka tal aidata teistel noortel oma ideid siis teostada ja neid ellu viia ja tema enda ideesid ka siis sellega ühes. Ning ka uuskasutuskeskuses, mis on siis meie Eestis selline taaskasutuspoodide kett, et ka seal on olnud vahetevahel vabatahtlikuks ja aidanud nende tegemistes kaasa. Ja olemegi viimase küsimuse juurde jõudnud. And to sum up tonight's conversation with an inspiring message from all of you, please tell us, why should someone consider being a volunteer on a local level or internationally through European Solidarity Corps program? And maybe what can a young person take with themselves from this experience?
I think volunteering and all these activities that are in the field of so-called informal learning are extremely important for a decent character development of yourself. And you go to school, you sit down every day, and then you talk about the things they tell you to talk about. You learn the things they tell you to learn. You repeat them, and then they're gone. Okay, so what's next? Then you go to university. Same thing kind of is repeating itself. Then you have a job. Same thing starts to manifest, and you have to use your youth to get out and see things for yourself and feel how it is, and to be on another place, to get to know all people from Europe. We have so many different nations with so many different things. It's important to get to know them, to see the different concepts of life, what it is about, what are the priorities of other people. And with that, you learn many things about yourself. And then when you turn maybe like 28 or I don't know how old, you should study then. And then you know exactly what you want. And then you know exactly what to do. And I see many times that people go from school directly to university. And then they quit the university, and then they don't do anything and just partying for a few years, and then they're somehow lost. And you can avoid that and use your time more wisely. And volunteering is a very, very good option in that. You should definitely do it.
I agree with everything that Conrad said. And also, I have told many youngsters that if you don't know what you want to do in life, it's like you don't have to decide right away, like before university or anything. But try different kind of voluntary projects. It doesn't have to be abroad or anything. It can be local, because they show you like what you might be interested in or what you don't like, or it's really good way to get the short experience of different fields in life, and it helps to figure out what you want to do in life. So I think this is like really important, and also for people who want to get like better jobs or anything. For me, because I have in my CV, I have so many voluntary job things. Every place has been like, yeah, we want to hire you, because you don't only have like school experience, you have like different life experience and so on. So I think it's really good.
Oh, I think my mates here told already all my ideas as well. It's very, very well said, all of these aspects actually. And I would like to add that through your volunteering experience, you don't even realize maybe how many people you are actually influencing. This is something which my great friend the other day reminded me about, that that the fact that, I don't know, doesn't matter how old you are or what you are doing in life, if you volunteer in something, you can also inspire the other person next to you. For example, open the door of international world in general for your family even. I think my family as well didn't know so much about Europe before, but as through the stories I have the opportunity to tell them, or I brought maybe even Spain closer to them through this, you know, when they don't visit that place, but I can tell my story and they know more. So I think it's, if you volunteer in different kind of fields in life, and doesn't matter if in Estonia or abroad, you open the doors for yourself and also for others around you.
Küsisin siis nendelt, miks peaks üks noor inimene või miks peaks üldse keegi vabatahtlik olema, mida see annab. Conrad siis tõi ka päris mitu asja välja ja mainis, et selline mitteametlik õppimise vorm, nagu seda siis nii-öelda vabatahtlikku teenistust, et kuidas seda võib ka nimetada teisiti, et see aitab väga palju ennast arendada ja enda kohta õppida, et see erineb väga palju sellest, kuidas toimub õppimine tavalises koolis või ülikoolis, nagu me seda tunneme. Samuti ta mainis, et Euroopas on nii palju ilusaid kohti ja nii palju toredaid inimesi, keda tasub tunda, et see on kindlasti juba üks põhjus, miks peaks olema vabatahtlikkuse tahetus olla näiteks rahvusvahelisel tasandil. Ning eriti ta soovitab olla vabatahtlik enne konkreetse elusuuna või ameti valimist, et sa oled enne seda juba mingisuguseid valdkondi avastanud ja võib-olla tead juba paremini, mis sulle meeldib ja mis mitte. Ja siit läheb edasi ka Karmeni mõte, et ta soovitab alati vabatahtlikku tööd või tööotsi neile, kes ei tea veel võib-olla konkreetselt, mida nad teha soovivad. Ja läbi selle võib leida selle enda suuna nende asjade kaudu, et sa saad aru, et mis sulle meeldib ja mis sulle võib-olla ei meeldi, et nendest asjadest on oluline aru saada. Ja samuti see annab ülevaat erinevatest valdkondadest, et sa saad ju vabatahtlike tööotsi võtta erinevaid, lühiajalisi, pikaajalisi ja avastada erinevaid nii-öelda suundasid ja valdkondi, mis sa võib-olla ei teadnudki, et sulle võiksid huvi pakkuda. Ning hea lisa, mis ta siin ütles ka, et temal on need vabatahtlikuna tehtud tööotsed väga head CV täiendus ka, et ta jääb alati tööandjatele sellega silma, et ta nii palju neid on ellu viinud ja osa nendest olnud. Ning Angela lisas veel selle, et kui sa oled olnud vabatahtlik või kui sul on mingisugune kogemus selja taga, siis sa ei pruugi isegi teada, kui palju sa võid just inimest sellega mõjutada või kui palju sa võid kedagi oma loo ja oma kogemusega inspireerida. Et ta on kindlasti näinud, et näiteks ta pere puhul ta võib väita, et nemad on saanud juba võib-olla konkreetsema arusaama ja pildi sellest, milline näeb välja üks rahvusvaheline noorteinfomaailm. Ning samuti siis avab see nii enda jaoks kui ka su lähedaste jaoks ja kes on sinu inimesed, see avab uksi erinevatesse valdkondadesse. Et see mõte käis kõigi ideedest ja seisukohtadest läbi ka. Aga minul on küsimused otsa saanud. I have run out of the questions and now we have the time after 2 hours. For everybody to ask questions or say some greetings. I give the word to you Nüüd, kui mul on küsimused otsa saanud, siis peale 2-tunnist vestlust on lõpuks aeg ka teil küsimusi küsida, kui teil neid veel on. Et juttu on olnud täna palju, et võib-olla kellelgi siiski on veel mõni küsimus, mis väga tahaks vastust või mõned tervitused edasi öelda. Et nüüd need on teretulnud ka.
If no one starts, then I will. First, I want to say thank you. The time flew. It was so nice to hear your experiences, and also like one experience that is still ongoing, to see it in that perspective. But what I was thinking was that we have this tradition all the time of doing the group photo, and I know that a few people have already had to go. So it's really sad we can't have them in the photo, but maybe we could do it now and turn on our cameras who wish to do the photo. Et ma mõtlesin, et võib-olla nüüd teeksime selle grupifoto, mis meil on kogu aeg traditsiooniks olnud või kujunenud, enne kui võib-olla keegi veel peab minema. Nii et kui kõik on valmis, siis let's do it. Yay! Thank you.
Well, I think that the night has been long and we really talked a lot during tonight's talk show. So if no one really doesn't have any questions, then I think it's fine, and we can all go and enjoy our evenings. And eesti keeles siis ka, et kui keegi sõna ei soovi ja kõikidele küsimustele on vastused saadud, siis ma arvan, et on aeg, et me kõik saaksime enda õhtut nautida. Jane, kas sa tahad ka öelda mingid lõpusõnad? Ma ei oskagi, kuidagi nimelik on viimast saadet lõpetada, et mis öelda enam, et järgmine neljapäev näeme või midagi taolist.
Ja mina just ka mõtlesin, et võib-olla mul ei ole veel kohale jõudnud, et järgmine neljapäev sama aeg ei toimu midagi sellist hetkel enam. Nii et mina tahan ka tänada kõiki, kes on olnud siin, keda ma olen mitu korda näinud, neid ka, kes on korraks saanud läbi hüpata või kuidas iganes olnud seotud nende õhtutega. See on minu jaoks ja ma arvan, et nii Angela kui Melanie võivad ka minuga nõustuda, nii suur õppetund olnud ja nii äge olnud ja nii motiveeriv olnud, mitte ainult vabatahtlikkuse mõttes. Nii et ma olen väga tänulik. Yeah, I'll say it in English as well, because we have a lot of people coming in from other countries every time. I think I can say it from all of us, from Angela, Melanie and me, that we are so grateful for everyone who has joined us these times now. And I think it has been a great process of learning for us, and so much fun and so inspirational. So thanks to everyone who has been with us. Yeah.
Yeah, same here. Just quick. I will be fast, I promise. Just a very, very quick thank you to all of you. And just like Melanie and Jana said, the international friends who have joined us almost every Thursday or even just once, it has been very great month with you, meeting every week. And and as well as our local people. It has been kind of a community project. I have the feeling about it now, and both local and international community. And I actually have this kind of bittersweet feeling, even just like project is ending. So I think it's the right feeling to have. Ja minu poolt ka suur aitäh kõigile, kes on meiega liitunud nii vahvasti, kas iga neljapäev või vahel läbi hüpanud, aga oma huvi üles näidanud. Ma usun, et me oleme kõik ka targemad vabatahtlike projektide osas ja ma loodan, et võib-olla rohkem ka inspiratsiooni saanud ja võib-olla isegi asub isegi tegudele. Et vabatahtlikuna kaasa lüüa, aga tohutult vahva kuu on olnud ja selline tore kohalik pluss rahvusvaheline kogukond koos projekt on sellest kujunenud. Ja ma arvan, et see on alles algus. Nüüd me oskame juba Zoomi kõik kasutada piisavalt kenasti, et hakkame ka edasi koos käima.
Suur aitäh teile korraldusmeeskond.
Aitäh sulle.
Aitäh, Kerri, et sa oled kõik selle võimalikuks teinud. Sinu pärast me kõik siin oleme.
Fia raised a hand.
Tere, moi, hello. Hello from Finland. It was amazing to listen your conversation and go back to my own memories also. It's almost 1 year ago when we left Spain with Angela, and so many feelings and things, but I just want to thank you so much. And it was very interesting to hear also Carmen's experience in Finland. I am sorry that if you had bit challenging experience, I can understand that definitely. And Lapland, South, different places in Finland are of course different, and we all are different. But through Angela, I have already got like so amazing picture about Estonian youth work and what you do there. So I'm really excited to one day to travel there and see how it's life there, and hope to see many of you. So thank you so much. Aitäh.
Aitäh, Fia. Kiitos.
I still like Finnish people, so everything is still good and still traveling there. So
I think we had one hand more some moments ago. Risto ka mingi hetk tõstis käe. Aga võib-olla kogemata, ma ei tea. Ja aitäh kõigile chatis ka.
Ja võib-olla veel mainida, et järgmisel nädalal me loodame teieni tuua enda sotsiaalmeedia kanalites ka sellise toreda mängukese nende vestlusõhtute kohta. Et kui te meid seal Instagramis või Facebookis jälgite, siis teil on ka võimalus sellest osa võtta ja ma arvan, et neil, kes on enamikest õhtutest ka osa võtnud, neil on selline paras proovikivi, et kui hästi nad kuulanud on ja kui palju nad teada on saanud. Et see on siis midagi, mida järgmisel neljapäeval oodata, et päris tänasega meie see vestlusõhtute sari veel ei lõppe, et järgmisel neljapäeval saate enda teadmised proovile panna.
Ja kui hästi läheb, siis me mõtleme midagi üle järgmiseks neljapäevaks ka välja.
Jah, te ei pääse meist.
Aga aitäh teile. Ja thank you, everybody.
Yep, thank you, Gary. Thank you, Iti, and the other people.
Thank you, Conrad. Ciao.